Thank you for being a speaker on this panel, Sheri.
When I came to Eleftheria and to several people in this country with an idea, the first thing that I had to deal with was getting her to understand that I didn't want to do it in Albania, and I didn't want to do it in the Balkans, and I didn't want to do it in Portugal. I wanted to do it in Greece. And she said, "But Sheri, it's so hard." And I said, "It doesn't matter, because we'll make it happen. And let's start taking that positive attitude that it will indeed happen. We are done. I am not a Greek, but I feel almost like one. And we are ready to turn the corner and move on. You can do it. You will do it. And I will try to help in any small way I can." The topic, injecting entrepreneurship in Greece, in the Greek economy, it's here. I came here at the request of the United States Department of State to help mentor entrepreneurs, to help bring best practices, to help bring knowledge of how to access capital and how to access the United States and the United States' market. I came here in 2014 in April, and over that period of time, I have developed some clients that I work with, and I'm thrilled to have the opportunity today to tell you that Gaia, or Gaia as you say, we say Gaia in the United States, is happily ensconced in the United States and doing very well, and I'm going to share a quick case study with you. And the second thing I sit here today to tell you about is an opportunity that I'm going to try to bring to Greece. It is somewhat revolutionary and cutting edge, and it's medical cannabis. And the opportunity for Greece to be a hub for the rest of the EU to do research and development on medical cannabis, to provide excellent remedies and drugs for heretofore uncurable and diseases that cannot have been without any kind of remedy. And I'm going to also introduce to you the investor that I brought here today. I've spent the last 3 or 4 days, which was going to be a vacation, visiting with your various officials and business people, and I have to say I am very pleased at what I've heard. What Artemis does, as I say, is we're a small group, but we're a very strategic group. We try to help Greek companies to access the United States market either through greenfields, or which is starting a new business, or mergers and acquisitions. And we have very deep connections both in the United States and in Greece. With Gaia, I met Aris Kefalogiannis, and during my time here at the ambassador's house, we had a lovely breakfast together where he told me he wanted to expand his business, and I tried to encourage him to come to the United States. He told me he had a distributor, and actually one of the largest distributors in the United States, and he was very unhappy with his progress. Instead of his business growing, his business was starting to fall off more and more. What we did over that period of time is I introduced him to a potential acquisition, the name of a company, you'll smile, Peloponnese, which was owned by Hormel, an $8 billion company in the United States, a food conglomerate. And we positioned ourselves, after doing due diligence, we positioned ourselves to be the likely acquirer. And then as we continued the due diligence, we recognized that Peloponnese, while a lovely Greek name, was a tarnished brand, and we should take a different strategy. Unfortunately, all that work was done, but it was work that was done with very, very good care. We started a new company in North America. We opened offices for Aris, and we hired and helped him to hire his people, did all the legal work and everything that was necessary for Aris to have a business. And I'm happy to say that in the 8-9 months he's been operating, he's on a $5 million run rate, which is pretty amazing. When he left his distributor, which shall remain it's mentioned in here, his business had fallen off to $1.5 million. So really, the biggest is not often the best in the United States, and people who care can do a lot for you. The idea of medical cannabis was one that was pretty revolutionary to my friend Eleftheria, to my friend Ulysses Kyriakopoulos, and to many other people that I spoke to here about it. I am grateful that a reporter by the name of Katerina Soku told me about this opportunity to speak, and it started the ball rolling. The medical cannabis business in the United States is a huge business. Today, the business is estimated at $5 billion. We have 23 states that have legalized cannabis, medical cannabis, and the diseases that are addressed by it are multiple sclerosis, pain, PTSD, Parkinson's, and certainly certain kinds of cancer, as well as the nausea caused by chemotherapy. There are studies going on throughout the world, amazing studies. I don't have the time to get into why cannabis got the tarring that it did, but it's worth looking into. It began back in the 30s and then was actually codified by the UN in a treaty in 1961. But we're throwing off the shackles of misinformation with regard to this, and the opportunity here for Greece is pretty big. 1999 was the year Israel legalized medical cannabis. Canada legalized medical cannabis, and just a few days ago, Australia has legalized medical cannabis. This is quite remarkable. And there are several countries right now in the EU, I believe it's somewhere between 6 and 8, where medical cannabis is legal. And there's a list in South America, but I think this is enough. This is the company that, after a lot of research, I went after. I looked at a lot of companies throughout the world, and I am the most impressed with Tilray. Tilray is owned by an American company, and the CEO has a vision to build the greatest cannabis business in the world. And Tilray was built in Canada. It's a 60,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility. It's a biotech facility. It embraces GMP, good manufacturing practices. They spend a lot of money and time on R&D, collaborating with various universities. They just announced a collaboration with several companies in Australia. They have also announced a collaboration with the University of British Columbia. I see this opportunity as an opportunity for Greece to become a hub for medical cannabis and for the R&D that needs to go behind it, and for distribution into the EU. It has nothing to do with having to be distributed within Greece. It is solely, in my vision, a facility that we would like to bring to Greece and build to employ your scientists, your laborers, your academicians, and this is just a little brief case study of what Tilray has done for a little town outside of British Columbia, right outside of, Vancouver. To date, indirect and direct jobs are 395. They've paid $8.5 million in taxes, and $48.1 million is the economic impact.